Hello everybody, my name is Aaron, and this is Unwritten Rules, just a thought of mine. The other day a friend of mine and I were talking about abortion, basically because it's one of the agendas that they're speaking about, with this big election thing going on, and they're throwing a lot at each other, and they're basically trying to say, you did this, or you did this, or you should have done this but you didn't, and you should have done this but you didn't, and they're throwing a lot of things at each other, basically to try to get you to vote for them. One of the things that came up is abortion, whether somebody has the right or not to get an abortion. Now, there's a couple things that I want to talk about, and so I had to name this abortion, marijuana, Adam and Eve. Now, first, let's talk about Adam and Eve. A lot of us know the story, and if you're young and you don't know the story, I assure you, you will hear about it sooner or later in your lifetime. But Adam and Eve was the first man and woman that were placed in the Garden of Eden. And God said, hey, listen, you guys can hang out, do what you want to do, but I don't want you to eat any of the fruit from this tree. Which was a direct, it was totally understandable. You can't get that mixed up. You can have everything in the Garden of Eden you want, but you can't eat from this tree of fruit right here. Now, I think that's pretty plain. And so they went on about their merry way, having a good time and everything. And suddenly, Eve walks by this tree, and there's a serpent there, of course. And the serpent says, hey, you ought to be able to eat this fruit. There's nothing wrong with you eating this fruit. God just doesn't want you to be like him. If you eat this fruit, you're going to be like him. So, of course, she eats the fruit, and Adam eats the fruit, and they find out that they were naked. And, of course, when God came to see them, and you guys, the rest of the story, read the Bible, and you'll know what it is. But the point that I'm trying to make was that Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and God himself did not put a fence around the garden around this tree. He did not put barbed wire around this tree. He didn't do anything. There was no defense, no dogs, no anything around this tree that said, hey, listen, don't touch. There wasn't even a do not enter sign there. It was basically the tree was there, and hey, don't eat from it. Simple as that. Well, the devil comes in, or the serpent, as he's referred to here, told him to do it. And she got curious, and she did it anyway. And it's funny, I see this bumper sticker that says Eve was set up. Maybe, I don't know. But then let's move into the modern times here, because I'm going to tie all this together. In this day and time, we have drugs. Now, marijuana, which is widely used, I'm not saying everybody uses it. I'm saying the individuals that do smoke marijuana, Mary Jane, weed, they do it a lot. The thing is that it's a controlled substance. It's illegal to use marijuana. But now there are some medical reasons why you can use marijuana. I'm not going to get into all that, but there are some medical reasons. Marijuana is a natural, it's a plant, and and of course there's some good things that are going to come out of it. And so people use that as an excuse to say it's okay and that it should be legal. And because nobody on marijuana, has ever done anything wrong. So nevertheless, it's a controlled substance. It is illegal. Now, the point that I'm trying to make with marijuana is that in spite of the fact that it is illegal, people still use it. People can still get it. Because there's individuals out there that we call drug dealers, that we call pushers, that old serpent, the devil. Those individuals are going to make sure that we have marijuana. They make their living off of making sure that we have marijuana, making sure that it's readily available to us if we want it. The law itself can't stop it. They've put out laws, they've made it illegal, and if you're caught with it, of course, you go to jail. But yet people still smoke marijuana. And the point that I'm trying to make there is that even though it is illegal, people are still going to get it. The drug dealer is still going to distribute his product. The devil is still going to whisper in your ear and say, hey, this is good, do it. There's a reason why you have to do it. Now I'm going to tie this all in to abortion. Basically, we're looking at the same thing here. Abortion, I personally do not believe in abortion. I don't think that abortion should be illegal. Unfortunately, it is. But I think those individuals that are against abortion are fighting it in a wrong way. First of all, abortion is never going to be illegal. It's not. You see, the reason why there's a problem is because there's two sides, one on each side. One says we have the right, whether we want to or not, we have the right. The other says we don't have the right. Now, personally, I think you don't get an abortion, you commit abortion. Because in my opinion, and this is just my thought, an abortion, I'm sorry, is murder. If it is a living thing and you stop it, it ceases to exist because of something you've done, then it is murder. I'm sorry, there's no way of putting it, so we don't go and get an abortion. We commit an abortion. We commit a murder. But do I think that it should be illegal? Well, the way I see it, it shouldn't even matter whether it's illegal or not. Now, we can't put our feelings and our thoughts and the way we think on other people. We just can't do that. But the thing is that I believe that we need to get our society together in a way that we wouldn't even need an abortion, because they're going to be available. Just like the pusher, the doctor will become the pusher, will become the serpent. We are going to have abortions, and if they're not legal, they will be illegal, and if they're illegal, that brings back the back alley abortions with this guy, shady dude that you go see, and he takes care of you, and you may or may not live. I don't want that for my kids, but I have made it plain and clear. I have spoken with my kids about it. I think that myself, and I've heard my kids talk about me to their friends, and I am their father, but I'm also their best friend. But foremost, I am a father, and I will act like a father when it's time for me to act like a father. But I also want to be a friend, because I want them to come to me and feel like, yeah, okay, I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, Dad's going to lose his mind, but he's going to look out for me. And in the end results, I'm going to be okay. And so that's the reason why I'm saying, yeah, sure, we can go ahead, we can have our arguments in court and things like that, which is kind of cool. But if we honestly believe that we're going to do anything about abortion to make it illegal, it's not going to happen. I think one thing we can do, we can make it clear to our kids what we're doing. We can make it clear to those individuals what they're doing. I think that they should pass rules, and they should pass a rule that says before you get an abortion, you need to speak to some individuals who have had abortions and look at the near effects, the long-term effects, and see if it's worth it. Because the women that I've spoken to that have confided in me and said, hey, listen, I had an abortion several years ago. I wish I hadn't done it. It haunts me. And I think that's what you need to consider. Right now, you're thinking, I'm in trouble. I can't have this baby right now for whatever reason. Is it because you got to go to school? Is it because you don't want your parents to find out? Is it because you're not physically or financially stable enough to even have a child right now? Well, let's face it, none of us are really prepared to have a kid. I know I wasn't. But as far as whether abortion should be legal or illegal, personally, I don't care either way. I think there are situations where somebody may want to have an abortion. Now, for instance, if your daughter was raped or there was incest involved and things like that, if it's, for instance, perhaps that it may be a situation where the doctor's going to come to you and say, hey, there are complications. You need to make a choice. Who do you want to live? your wife, or your baby. And personally, I hope I never have to make that decision. I hope you never have to make that decision. But I'm sorry, sometimes it is going to happen. And I think that when we say, no, it shouldn't be an abortion, no, for no reason there shouldn't be an abortion, that, believe it or not, tends to, it more or less seems like it's going to be up to you when that situation happens. Because we can all stand back and say, hey, that shouldn't be a good thing. We can't do it. Forget it. For any reason, we can't have an abortion. But I'm going to tell you, when you're in that situation, it's a whole different ball game. And we can talk about the drug pusher. We can talk about the serpent in our ear and whispering things to us. But still, the truth of the matter is when we're in that situation, we're thinking totally different. Now, guys, I gotta go, and that's all the time I have for right now. But until I see you again, I'm gonna do what I do best, and that's talk. And this is my thought. You all have a good day.